everyone, and welcome. My name is Beth Laquadera, and I'm your host for today's episode of SUNY Oneonta's Science News. Disease-causing bacteria has always been a challenge to understand by scientists. As scientists come up with a cure to certain bacteria, it may become resistant to the antibiotics by the time it is exposed to the treatment. With more and more research being done about the resistance of bacteria to these treatments, scientists have discovered the operation of a protein complex called BAM.
According to the article, New Insights into How Drug-Resistant Bacteria Build Their Defenses on ScienceDaily.com, BAM means Beta Barrel Assembly Material.
Essentially, the BAM complex sits in the outer membrane of gram-negative bacteria. The BAM complex plays a crucial role in the process of creating a functioning protective outer membrane. They insert a variety of proteins into the outer layer of the cell that are mandatory for a cell to protect itself from the outside environment. By researching the BAM, scientists are finding methods to counter-effect antibacterial resistance. Using electron microscopes, researchers at the University of Leeds were able to observe BAM in an open state that had not been accomplished before. And now, I'll hand it over to Walter Abrams, our bacterial research expert, to discuss what bacteria are, how they function, and how they become resistant to antibiotics over time.
Bacteria that spread disease are called pathogens. One way they can accomplish this is by producing toxins they secrete to the outside environment. Another way they spread disease is by attaching to cells and directly inserting enzymes to damage the cells. The cell wall of bacterial cells is very tough, and that is what allows it to survive in harsh conditions and spread disease.
Most bacteria have a cell wall, a cell membrane, and a capsule around the outside. The cell membrane is a phospholipid bilayer similar to eukaryotes that allow substances in. Also, most bacteria have cytoplasm, within which are ribosomes and one small circular DNA. On the outside, bacteria have flagellum, which allow them to move.
Many bacteria survive harsh conditions by forming endospores over their DNA. This causes a cell to become dormant, but a thick covering protects the cell's DNA, allowing it to survive even though the rest of the cell may not. Bacteria can survive in this form for many years, then once environmental factors become favorable again, they can leave their endospore state and form new cells.
Bacteria become resistant to antibiotics over time. This occurs when bacteria are first exposed to an antibiotic. Many of the bacteria exposed will be wiped out, but there will be a few that have resistance to the antibiotic that will survive. Given time, if those with resistance continue to divide, they will be the majority of the bacteria remaining due to the fact that the non-resistant continue to die out. And that is how bacteria become resistant to antibiotics.
Thanks for listening. Now over to Eric for an in-depth look at the structure of the BAM complex.
Scientists have used the research of the BAM complex to develop new ways to stop bacteria from spreading disease and evolving to combat antibiotics. There are two forms of the BAM complex.
This is an image of the BAM complex. The BAM complex has two parts, the open and the closed. The open complex collapses on itself while the closed BAM complex stays intact.
The open form of the BAM complex seems to have part of the complex collapse on itself. This find is being used as a key component to develop drugs to target the BAM complex to stop its functioning so scientists can replenish their diminishing arsenal of antibiotics to combat bacteria-caused diseases. This new understanding will contribute to ongoing work to find new ways to kill bacteria which have become increasingly resistant to drugs developed in the 20th century. When the BAM complex is stopped from completing its functions, bacteria can't survive and they would be prevented from spreading disease.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of SUNY Oneonta's Science News. Have a great day. BAM!